All right, so today is March 1st. Uh, March 1st, 2020, no, 2021. Lost $254 today. And I know why. I know exactly why. And I only took Tesla, only traded Tesla today. But it's funny because you're looking at this and you're thinking, Jid, how could you have lost $254? Quite simple, actually. One, no patience, no patience to find a really, really good setup, and then also just kind of trading out of FOMO. So, so let me mark my entries and exits. So, I entered puts. So I think the best way to look at this, because I've already recorded a recap, but I was very emotional when I recorded it. I was angry, and I was angry, and the market had just started. And it's funny because the first thing I will say is it's so interesting seeing this happen. So the first thing I will say is when I am from now on, one lesson I have learned is don't trade too many setups, too many tickers. So at the moment, I have 3 screens and I have, oopsie daisy, let's just maximize this. So these were the things I was looking at today, right? I didn't chart everything. The only things I charted were Airbnb, Roku, kind of, even though I didn't chart the demand area. Boeing, no, I didn't chart Boeing, even though Boeing was explosive, but that was never part of the plan today. So it was Airbnb, I charted Roku to kind of reject this area. Airbnb, I charted for a takeoff, and Tesla I always chart because I love trading Tesla now. It's funny because I hated trading Tesla. Charted Tesla, but didn't even chart a demand area. And that was the first issue. Did not chart a demand area. Charted Snap, and as you can see, Snap was really good, and Baidu. Did not chart Baidu's demand area. I charted its supply area. And then the SPY, of course, as you can see, it's come out of demand. All right, so what happened today? And why was I making the mistakes? It's probably going to be easier if I use this chart here because I want to make reference to the SPY while we look at the 1 minute chart. So my first trade was I played 4 contracts of Tesla, and I did that at about 9:30 something. So first thing I'm going to use this anyway, but the first thing I want to say, let's put this back on the 5 minute because that's what I normally do. So the first thing I want to say is that whenever I'm looking at the stocks, I look at them on the 5 minute just to kind of get an idea of what's happening with them. And again, like I said, watching too many things, it just makes it difficult. Snap, I had an idea of what I wanted to do. Baidu, I also had an idea of what I wanted to do, but that didn't really work out. This is actually interesting seeing this wedge. I'm only marking it because I want to see what happens later on. And then the VWAP is the resistance. Where are we? Yeah, so we have a situation where, oh, come on. There we go. So we have a situation where we should have this fall down. But anyway, we have a situation where we have the SPY, right? As you can see, at the beginning, the SPY was very strong in the first 5 minutes, okay? So I took that as supply, you would have a rejection. So especially because when I had started the day, I had plotted this area of supply, all right? Although this area has already been tagged before, this area here, and as you can see, prices come here, rejected it, but not falling. So I thought, okay, maybe it's gonna fall again, just the same way it did over there, but it did not, okay? So this area here, and look at, it's taken the orders already. So it wasn't a very strong area of supply. So, but anyway, it hadn't pegged it in the market. I just thought, okay, maybe it's over here. Maybe this is the new area of supply in pre-market, okay? That was my thinking. So as a result, I went ahead and plotted I think what I had done was I plotted these lines here at the beginning. Okay, no, it was 9:38 I had taken. Okay, actually, let's have a look just to make sure. I think it was 9:38. I got in 9:38, 3 seconds. So I got in with 4 contracts. So 9:38 here. I had gone short. Now, why did I choose this point? I think I chose it because I was speculating, well, if this is the drop, this doesn't make sense anyway, as I think about it. This is another drop. The wedge hadn't formed. So I thought, okay, this wedge is broken. It's rejected this. So it should come down here. 9:38 here. So it was on this candle. And then it went down, and I was expecting it to keep dropping because I thought this was the retest. And as I look at it now, I think of it, I think I feel stupid. I feel really stupid. So 9:48, 9:38, and then I got out at, uh, um, yeah, I used a green. Because that's just keeps things consistent. So I got in there, and 9:40, 9:38, no. So it was this candle we got in, right? So we got out around there. So we'll just mark that, flip this around this way. $50 contracts. Now the thing is, I'm using a cash account because I don't overtrade, and I'm limited. Like, I think because each contract costs about 3,000 something. Excuse me, which cost me about almost $7,000. No, I spent 14,000, almost 14,000, and sold them. Anyway, so that didn't really work out. Came down, and then it came back, and then this was my next. Oopsie. It's funny because when you start the day, these bars look so small, and they're so assume it. We're seeing long candles, so it's very. Where were we? So, no, okay, a bit of money there, and then now bought. we got in with calls at 9:45 and exited at 9:49. So 9:45, we got in with calls here. Yeah, right. And I'll explain why we got in here. So just put this here. Let's just make this blue or green, sorry. And then we got out at 9:45, which is around here. What was it? Was it 9:45? 9:49, 20. Yeah. So we got out here. All right, so let's go back to trend lines. So you're probably thinking, what were you thinking? So this is what I saw. The first trade was based around this whole idea of price falling. When I looked at other tickers falling, particularly Snap and the others, which makes no sense. Now I know that Snap was falling, and it was falling hard with a lot of power. And Baidu too was falling because they were coming off supply. So I assumed that was the same thing that was going to be happening here. And that wasn't the case. So that was the first mistake. That was the reason why I went short, even though we made some money, but I went short here. Now, why did I go short again? I thought, oh, it's going down, still going down. And remember, let's remove this. This did not exist. So I assumed price would go even further, but it did not. It broke and it kept on, it was red at first, and then you can imagine opening here. It was never red actually. And then it stopped me out because I thought, okay, this is God. This trend line was like this. So I thought, okay, my stop is at this trend line. If it breaks this trend line, I get out, which I did. So I went long here because I thought, okay, well, we know one thing. This wedge, so this was the new wedge. And I remove this. I said, this is the new wedge. This wedge is now going up. Then it reversed. And at this point, I said, if it broke low of day, I'm getting out. I was not thinking that this wedge in itself could have gone here. If we just, and now I see this, and I didn't see this, because now I see why this is a demand area. And it's funny because I wasn't thinking about that, because now I see we're so close to the demand area, which is why this wedge worked. It hurts more even looking at it. But anyway, I said, if it broke the low of day, I get out. This is my stop. I did not think that this was actually supposed to be this. Essentially what I'm saying is I plotted the wedge wrong. And because I did that, I made very bad decisions taking the trades. This actually, it's funny because when you see this on the 5-minute chart, on TradingView, it looks a lot cleaner. So, and this is another thing I'm trying to now think, trying to consider, like, do I use TradingView to now plot these wedges? So if you can see it's tagged the wedges in the right position. So maybe we can look at this in the 1 minute, and on TradingView, it is correct. Whereas on Thinkorswim, this candle is not quoted at the same point. So I get better drawings of wedges on TradingView than I do on Thinkorswim. All right, so that's the first thing I know. But I did not even consider this. I wasn't looking at this because of the fact that when price started, that was not on my screen. I did not see that area of demand. And I feel a bit upset about that. Now I see this. I see there was a 15-minute demand zone here because I plotted, it just hurts. It hurts even more now, seeing it now. Because when you think about it, this area should have told me the price is coming down and it's showing it may reverse. And that being a demand area, this would have been a perfect entry, this being my risk, and whatever the case was, I could have taken it. So that was the first thing I learned. Yeah. Anyway, it's just upsetting seeing it. I got emotional about it and I'm upset again. But anyway, so the other one again that I was looking at was Snap. And this is what kind of affected my bias, because I saw how Snap came out of there. I said I was going to buy 20 contracts because I wanted to get 1,000 shares and take it down. But it did it so quickly that, in fact, let's use the other chart. It did it so quickly that there was no way I was going to jump in that early. So as you can see, this could have been a valid entry, but it was just too early. I could have also taken this entry at 934, which is what I did on Friday. Essentially taking this maybe at the break of that. But again, there's a demand region over here, but I wasn't sure if I had gotten in here and said, look, take this, use this as your stop and take it down with your 20 contracts. So essentially you have 0.3 as your risk. Let's actually be more accurate. Let's say 0.38 as your risk. And then you're aiming for maybe 3 or 4 times. So yeah, this could have been a beautiful exit. So 0.38 would have been $300 risk, or $380 because I was buying 20 contracts at about 1,000 shares. And this would have been a very good exit. But then again, or what I mean by exit, like first target and then now just kind of getting out over there. That's what I would normally have done. But anyway, the point is, this was what kind of formed my bias for the day. I assumed that since Snap was already falling out of this supply area, and then the same thing was happening with Baidu as well. I didn't want to get into those because I was so focused on Tesla. As you can see, another really good entry here, 3-bar play, and then maybe there. Oh, just seeing this wedge now just kind of makes it just even more painful. But even a 3-bar play here, taking this down, and then maybe just getting out somewhere here, and then, there's another wedge over here. And then of course there's a much bigger wedge, which is about to fall out now, but that's by the by. Yeah. And so as I'm seeing all this, I'm just saying to myself, dude, have a bit more patience. Just more patience. There's always going to be an opportunity. As I'm looking at all this, there are more opportunities, and one just has to be really patient when one is taking their trades. Let me see if there's another really good one. The SPY is weak right now. Actually, the SPY isn't that weak, but as you can see, this zone wasn't valid. And why wasn't it valid? I'm gonna investigate that later. And this is pretty valid, but the SPY is really strong today, so it's taking it out. We may still have it fall, and then we're also looking at Tesla, which has rejected the first time, second time. It may come back down to the VWAP and then test the VWAP, or at least close to the VWAP to this area. But there were other valid entries, like not just this, another entry here as well. This too, another entry as well, maybe. But as you can see, here is another wedge formed. So you have 1, 2, maybe not this one so much. This is still continuation for me. So 1, 2, 3, here we go, another one as well, here, 4, and now you have another one here, 5, just to this point, and now things are getting a bit slow, so there isn't much you can be doing at this point, but I'm seeing really, really good setups on Tesla today, and I had no excuse for trading in this region. And I think that's what makes it even more painful, seeing all these setups play up. And in fact, one looks like it's developing here, but I will just let it form. Yeah, just, one of my rules is never trade in chop. And this is chop. This area is chop. This area is chop, chop. All this is chop. This is what we're looking for. Stage 2 markups or stage 3 markdowns. And so stage 2 markups or stage 4 markdowns, like this, and so yeah. All right, so I'm trying to see if there's, in fact, let's look at Baidu again. Remember, we marked this coming down, and this just looks so good. That again is another good setup. In fact, Baidu is just giving us really clean. In fact, here's another one again. Good setup here. And then there isn't very much here. There's one here. I wouldn't really take that, but this in itself is a great setup on the 15-minute and even the 5-minute charts as well. So just taking it from here, the risk here, but I would risk this point. The base of this candle, and then just take this down, and you can see the candles are getting red and red. So this is pretty cool. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Yeah, today has a lot of good setups. GS is another good one. But I, again, did not chart GS. You can see here you have this wedge, and then this other wedge here. Well, it's not really looking, I don't know why it's doing that, but this in itself looks like a really, in fact, actually, maybe this is not the wedge. If we remove that, if we just take these 2 points, here we go. There, that is actually the wedge. So I'm expecting a bounce on this, but we could also have a fall. And we'll see how this kind of plays out for the rest of today. But the point again is we just need to be patient and not force trades to happen. If we don't see a setup like we're seeing right now, don't take the setup. Like Tesla right now, here, this we should have waited to develop. At the time, I thought this was the wedge, this here, but it wasn't. As I look at it now, I'm like, how could I have taken that as a wedge? That was no wedge. There's another one I'm trying to, I think it was in TradingView. All right, so this was the pole, and this is the flag, and then another pole flag. So you can see price coming all the way down from here, creating a pole flag. So it's easier to look at it this way. Yeah. All right, that's my recap. Don't think I have anything else to share. I'm just gonna forget about today. Hopefully tomorrow since we have a bit more time. Oh yeah, that was another thing. Because I have this presentation to do today, I took trades I shouldn't have taken, and no, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Because I have this presentation today, this is the reason why I rushed in so quickly. And really what I should have done, was just waited for, not even taken any trades today at all. Just since I'm so busy, not done so, but I did. And it wasn't a good idea. I'm now curious as to why I did not get this supply area. So I'm going to search for it while we are on, not supply area, demand area. I'm clearly so bad at multitasking. All right, so I think it's, no, why did I get it from here? Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. This is it. But why? Hold on, let's go on to, start with a 4-hour chart. Okay, that doesn't work. Let's go to the 2-hour. No, it's somewhere here. I just noticed something. Oh man, I feel so stupid. I plotted a wedge anticipating a rally, and I did not take the rally. You see, this is another thing. It's because, again, I think I'm looking at way too many tickers. Yeah, so activate. I think I've just located the, I've located the zone. And once I finish this, I would show it. Here we go. That's the zone. Perform. And so this area, because this is the last pullback, and I normally locate them using pullbacks. So if that is a 1 hour, maybe on the 3 hour, which I hardly ever use. Okay, there we go. So that's where I messed up. I mean, not so bad, but what I did not consider. I prefer to put it on the 1 hour so I can see it as a pullback, because the pullback is the basing. So this is up, pullback, up. So it's like base. This is the basing area, and this is a kind of a basing area, but this in itself is a basing area. I mean, someone could correct me otherwise. So activate, no, duplicate. All right, so this being the basing area. Am I trying to force things? All right, let's see. I'm gonna make this a 1 hour, because I notice when I do this, I find the areas that I want, because that again is another double bottom. All right, so if we go back, interesting. Again, maybe I'm forcing it. All right, we'll start. We'll see what happens tomorrow. This I don't think is a good one, so I'm just going to take it out. At this time, the wedges are very difficult to spot because you need to look at them on a higher time frame at this point. Yeah, so here we go. So this is the wedge now. So you have this, yeah. So what I'm going to do is remove this, because these are not tradable wedges at this point. And then now we have that and that. Or if anything, maybe that to that, but I'll just leave this as that and see what happens. Because now I think this is the wedge, this is the pull, and this is, yeah. And oh, I've just seen something on Snap. This was not right. So yeah, this is wrong. This is the wedge here, or the flag, the continuation here, another one. Yeah. All right. So we'll come back again, like I said, tomorrow, and see what's up, and hopefully we'll have better trades.